Go ahead now.
So Nyol, what are you feeling in the car right now?
Well, the carburetors are definitely dirty, you know, from the car sitting around.
Yeah.
So it doesn't need a rebuild, it needs actually a refresh, you know. Just take it, clean it, put new gasket in and stuff like that. Because all the bolts and all that stuff is going to be correct, you know, because we can move the car. The car was sitting for a really long time, so for sitting for such a long time, it's running pretty good, you know. Suspension feels good. I mean, it's a little bucky, but I think it's gonna. I think once you take care of the carburetor issue, this car should be great, man. Because the body feels really good. You know what I'm saying? It moves really well. You know what I'm saying? All the calipers, are loose and stuff like that. Car rolls straight. Look at this, perfectly straight. Suspension feels good. Brake is not too bad either, you know.
How does the clutch feel?
Perfect. Return's nice. A little bit of free play in there. Love this thing, man. I should be wearing my mask.
You're good. At least one of us is.
Yeah. So the heat, I wonder if you could feel the heat. That thing just comes pouring in here, man.
Yeah, it feels very warm in the car already. And are we up to, we're not quite up to temperature yet.
No, but the heat, these things, as soon as you get a little heat on the exhaust, you know, I think it's pretty cold today.
And something that Mike brought up, this definitely doesn't have the AC vents in it, right? This is never an AC car.
You know what? It does have AC vent, but
it
does have it, but I don't see, unless that's the freaking heat. No, it could be both, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
I didn't see anything in the back. Gearbox is nice, you know. It's nice and smooth.
And do you think with the engine leaks that you could, like you were saying, with refreshing the carbs, that you think the car is drivable with these leaks as it is?
I think it is.
Yeah.
I definitely, because if it wasn't right now, at this moment, we would get like plumes of smoke in here. We'd start smelling smoke because the heat's up right now.
Right.
We would get like, you know, we fucking die. But here's another cool option. So the orange car is also 74, but it has wind-up windows, right? And it has the different style mirrors. So I'm thinking this might be a later 74 maybe.
So these mirrors actually might be correct.
Yes.
Okay.
You're gonna have to, because it might be like a crossover year. But the other thing that doesn't make sense to me is the other car doesn't have the pop-out glass in the back, you know?
Okay.
And this car does, you know? But they do have the rear Euro-style bumper, which could be correct also, you know? I think they might have changed it maybe later and stuff like that. I'm gonna turn this heat down.
Okay.
It's super hot. It's crazy. It still has a hand throttle in it.
Yeah.
I used to use this as cruise control because it's connected to the throttle, so you can just hold it up and leave it, you know. So you can see, I mean, car handles really, really well. Braking is good, shifting is good, a little bit of vibration. Might be the rotors from sitting around. I think just by cleaning the jets and stuff like that, I mean, it would improve dramatically.
Okay.
Because, like I said, we're driving it still. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Feels good. Like I said, no smell. Like I always talk to people about smell. When you go buy a car, try to smell what's going on.
Yeah.
Whether it's a water cooled car, you know, or whatever it is, you know, and you'll know right away, you know. It might be the yeah, it's definitely the jets, you know, like the idle jets or something. So what do you think?
I mean, from the passenger seat, it seems great. Like you said, you know, not noticing any smoke. Even when it started up, it was like
pretty good, yeah.
a limited amount.
Right. And that car was sitting for 2 days already, so
right.
That was like a true.
And it was sitting for a long time before it got it started.
Yeah. I mean, the way it drives. I mean, it's easy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You're not fighting it. It's very easy. You take the turns nice and easy. Love it. This car feels really good. You know what I'm saying? Even like cruising around a day like this. Definitely got good bones. So if you need firewood, tons of firewood here. Tire pressure. Oil pressure is good. We're at 2,000 RPM. We're looking at it. It's about 60 bars right now. It's showing on the truck pressure. It's funny. This one doesn't have this other gauge. You notice that? This doesn't have an oil level gauge on it.
Yeah, I was just noticing that.
I think they came later on it. You know what I'm saying? It has the fuel gauge, and usually they have the to check the oil level here. But you do have pressure and temp. It's still a little low on the temp also.
Yeah, until you start, when it's this cold, until you start revving the air-cooled cars, it seems like they stay pretty low.
Yeah, it looked like somebody tried to repair the dash a little bit.
Yeah,
you know, but
use some kind of.
You know, somebody just called me about a car, and I'm like, kind of depends on what you want to do with the car. I mean, this stuff shows what it is. You know what I'm saying? If it runs really good and all this other stuff works out, you don't need to address certain things unless you make it into a show car.
No, I think this is a driver's car.
Correct.
Yeah.
I totally agree. The body doesn't bother me. What bothers me is, you know, the way it runs, you know, the carburetor.
Do you mind if I drive it?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So what I would recommend, I mean, it depends what Mike wants to do. I would just kind of fix up the carburetor and the oil leak, and I would just drive it like this, man. It's a cool car. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's not super clean, but it'll perform well. You'll have a good time doing it. Ah! Ow. God damn. Correct seat belts. There's a cop coming, so just let him go by first, so in front of us, so we don't have, or maybe not.
Actually, it looks like a cop car.
Yeah, I don't think it is.
Oh yeah, the clutch is heavier than expected.
Yeah. Clutch feels great. Gearbox feels great. I
Yeah,
mean,
the gear shift is smooth going into third.
Yeah. Does it feel a little smoother than the orange car?
Yeah.
It does, right?
It does. Yeah, the shift to third was really nice.
Yeah. But even the car itself, the feedback you're getting from the car is good.
It really does drive very straight.
Yeah. Suspension, you can feel everything working, you know? Shocks working, tire working, everything is doing what they're supposed to do right now.
It's not as harsh as the orange car.
Yeah, I think that the profile on those tires, but think about it, the profile on this tire.
Not taller.
Correct. And I think the other car has 15s also, but they're also narrow. This has a wider tire also. Decent power.